Whoop-pow! Hello again everyone and welcome back to the fifth and final part in a series of videos where I talk about all of my thoughts and opinions on this year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest entries for 2024. If you haven't checked out the 4 parts before that, then the links are in the in the description box below, and I'll leave a little playlist somewhere so you can go and check out all of those previous videos of my thoughts and opinions on other acts in the contest. But before I start with this next slot and final lot in the series, of course I should stress as always, these are my own thoughts and opinions, and they are done in a friendlier approach because I am reviewing young children in terms of how they perform and indeed what the song is like. I'll at least try to be in a friendly approach. It depends on certain circumstances. But of course, if you want to fill in your opinions on all of them, you can of course check them out, or more to the point, type them out in the comments section below. But before we do all of that, do you want to go through all of those 3 final countries I want to do so? I thought you might say that. Let's find out together and roll those titles. Good afternoon, evening everybody. My name is Jamie Jew. Welcome back to a brand new video where once again I react to all of the entries in this year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest in Madrid, Spain on the 16th of November. And in this particular one we're going to be reviewing the final 3 countries I have yet to go through, and they are Armenia, Georgia and her host country Spain. But before I dive into those particular 3 ones, I would of course encourage you guys as always to subscribe to my Eurovision YouTube channel, because I do all the song reviews, I do live watch-alongs for all the national finals, and of course I do little countdown bits here and there for all of the Eurovision songs for that coming year, whether adult or junior. So yeah, get subscribing right away, and of course ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos if you want to be notified of all of them. But without any further ado, let's go into the final 3 songs for this year's reviews. And the next one I'm going to be doing is of course a country that knows how to really tweak into the Junior Eurovision formula, and they are Armenia. And this time they are sending a young Leo with the song Cosmic Friend. Oh boy, Armenia. I mean, they certainly know how to handle this contest, that's for sure. It's like they know this like the back of their hand. You cannot get more kid-friendly with a song about a young boy befriending an alien who shows up on Earth suddenly, and the little boy just sort of showing this alien around the whole entire planet and then becoming friends with them big time together. I wonder where I've heard that before. Regardless, this has a nice, solid, beautifully constructed beat. Production-wise, it's quality. I know some people are going to be saying, oh, there's quite a bit of a cliche riff in there, especially with a couple of other countries doing the same thing. But this one is sort of like a... do you know what? That riff does sound very familiar in a lot of circles, a lot of songs that you would hear. But hey, the tempo is very uplifting and catchy, and you know what? I can go for a good riff like that anytime, do you know what I mean? And staging-wise, I can only imagine what it's going to look like on the night. There's going to be planets, there's going to be loads of stars, or cosmic waves, a galaxy, that kind of thing. Spaceships and etc, etc. There's bound to be a lot of that involved. There's a lot of colours in the music video, that's for sure, with all the circles and everything. So there's going to be a lot of that, I would have thought, in the staging, especially with the multicoloured like Power Ranger kind of outfits they've got going on there. And Leo himself seems like he's got great vocal ability and has got a lot of charisma, which goes a long way, especially what I saw in the music video. And they probably got the choreography locked down to a pretty good tier, it has to be said. It seems nice and solid. I do think the juries are going to go for this. Maybe not so much the adults, but they'll certainly take it into consideration when the kids' juries are just going to like lap this up, let's face it. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they absolutely challenge for the win. This has got you know, in any other year, a winner written all over it. But it's got some stiff competition this year. And for me, while it's not necessarily my personal favourite, I do see, as I say, the kids' jury's going it and certainly getting some good, decent public votes. It is going to be up there in the tables, that is for sure. There is definitely a lot of potential in this. We just got to wait to see what it's like on the night, basically. But overall, I'm going to give it a very, very nice top 5 lifting 3.3 out of 5. Doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, given the rest of the competition I've seen so far, this is pretty high. And we're keeping in similar territory as well in terms of the geography of the countries, where we move to Georgia. And now they are a little bit familiar when it comes to the contest as well, and they've sent in a ballad this time around. Andrea Putsovatske, I hope I've pronounced that right, will be representing Georgia with the song To My Mum, or Mom in American. This one's got a bit of a personal feel, it has to be said, especially with a title like that. You know, I love my mum a lot, obviously, and I've lived with her all my life. I wouldn't have it any other way. But let's focus on the song now. Certainly one of the most rarest of ballads coming into the contest, whereby it certainly could help it to stand out from a lot of up-tempo songs in this year's competition, it has to be said. Especially with the unique sounding, a ticking clock, like I don't know if you noticed throughout it. You can clearly hear that in the quieter parts, that's for sure. And while the rest of the production of the song and the instruments involved in it certainly sounds like it could have the potential to go far with its calming melodic vibes and almost sort of like pushing towards a power with like a Disney-esque kind of vibe as well. It seems alright, don't get me wrong. I do feel for me some people might move on to all vote for other songs compared to the rest of the competition. There's no disrespect in terms of the quality of the song. I just feel that maybe in a strong year it could get just that tiny little bit lost. There's no detriment to the actual song itself, as I say. I just think this year's competition could be a bit tough for Georgia, especially with the amount of up and downness that sort of goes on. There's like a fairly quick, there's a slow, harmonious like feel trying to draw you in. Then it goes up again, then goes down, and then goes up again, and then quietly goes in at the end. Not so sure that's gonna like resonate with well. It'd be better if it just sort of like slowly does the normal like build of and maybe either keep it right at the end or like do the slowdown at the end. Maybe just one of those would have been fine. Rather than it be twice, it feels kind of like, oh, where's this gonna go? Like, okay, you kind of lost me now. That's the vibe I'm getting with this. But listen, Andrea, who's performing, has put a lot of heart and a lot of soul into this. He looks like absolutely like it feels like his own personal love letter to my mum at the end of the day, and his vocals will certainly make some people stand up and listen, that is for sure. I can definitely see this, you know, getting some way up the board. I don't see it challenging for the win though. The jurors I think are gonna go, you know, this is definitely one for the jurors at the end of the day. I think they could like vote it fairly well, but maybe not that high. At least top 10 I would say with the jurors, but I do think the public are going to move on to other ones, if you know what I'm saying. This is for me, it's just pure and out juries, but given the competition, I wouldn't be surprised if it does get lost along the way. So yeah, this feels more mid than it should be, so I'm going to say with a bit of trepidation that Georgia is only going to score a precisely middling 2.5 out of 5 for me. But after all is said and done, we're now finally going to be talking about the host nation of this year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest by default, since France didn't want to do it anymore, and that is Spain. And this time they're sending a very vibrant young little girl in the form of Chloe de la Rosa with the song Como la Lola. Como la Lola, Lola, la 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 Lola, Lola. Well now, this is certainly going to be one that is going to catch your attention straight away when it comes to its up-tempo beat and pure jolly, clappy, happy bipey vibes when it comes to this song, which incidentally does match the vibe of basically the theme of the song. It talks about a young girl wanting to achieve their bigger dreams in life, in this case a very prominent, rich and also popular and very, very good actress in in the form of a very famous actress called Lola Flores, who is a very famous Spanish flamenco dancer, singer, and actress in her own right. But to be fair to Chloe, she's got great charm and sass to be a great singer or actress or whatever she wants to do in her own right. Like, she has got the charisma to a team, absolutely locked down here. She's probably got so much energy and bubbliness and happy clappy vibes to like probably go back onto the stage and dive bomb them all, and they'll easily catch her because at the end of the day she's performing in her own country. And I really do reckon that when she performs a song on the night, it'll be absolutely at its peak value, because the crowd are just gonna go absolutely ballistic, as you probably would unsurprisingly expect. They'll just wave their flags, absolutely, like, you know, if she goes near the crowd, it'd be like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna la. There's gonna be a lot of jumping up and down, a lot of claps, a lot of cheering from the home crowd. There's no denying that. I suspect the vibes from the music video will probably be similar with the staging, but don't quote me on that. And even though vocally doesn't need high vocals, absolutely, she'll still perform brilliantly well, because as I say, she could get out of breath by the end, but I don't know. I don't expect that from her. But regardless, the juries will love this. This is absolutely fighting for the victory. I don't see it personally happening, but this is definitely at least top 5 material, if not top 3. And it'll definitely get some points from the public for sure, there's no question. It's defo one of my personal favourites, absolutely. It is up there. I mean, after all, I'm up for the boppy style afterwards. The only critique I will say is that maybe it could be a bit too boppy for some other people, especially with the Spanish language. Some people, no disrespect to Spaniards or the Spanish language in general, I'm just saying some people don't feel the same vibes of the Spanish language as others. For me, I find this quite nice and jolly personally, but I do feel with the verse of it, with a lot of lyrics involved, it'd be like, oh, okay, what's she saying, if you know what I'm saying. There's no detriment to that, I'm just saying that's what some people will be like. But the one positive thing about it is that at the end, the key change is absolutely necessary, because it'll get people even more jolly at the end. They need that uplift towards it. If they kept saying it might have gotten a bit lost, but they needed that key change, absolutely. And besides, once it finally ends, it'll just be like an, okay, yeah, let's come on. It's not my absolute personal favourite, but it's definitely up there. I'm going to give it a solid 3.2 out of 5. Nothing bad. I'm just saying that's how I personally feel. It's definitely in amongst the top 5 as far as I'm thinking, or something like that. But yes, Spain, kick backside in the final. You are up there to fight for the victory, no doubt about that. And that about us for this particular final part of my series of videos where I react to all of the entries in this year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest. And if you want a reminder on the 3 countries I reviewed with their scores, they are all around me now. And without any further ado, if you have any opinions on this, never mind what I think, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you see which particular country or any of those particular countries going well or not so well? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, you know the drill by now. Subscribe for more of my Eurovision juicy goodness. Smash the like button on this video for good measure. And of course, ring the button again to get notified about my latest videos. Catch you again in the next one, which is actually the live stream itself, the live watch-along of the Junior Eurovision Song Contest on Saturday, the 16th of November. Catch you then. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.